Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world with me, Deepika, coming up in the next 1 hour. From chip to ship, Prime Minister Modi pushes Make in India and Vocal for Local resolve at the Uttar Pradesh International Trade Show 2025, asserts India set to be developed by 2047 despite all odds. India successfully test fires intermediate range Agni Prime missile from mobile railway platform, joins select nations with canisterized launch capabilities from rail network. Ahead of his US visit, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he would condemn recent recognitions of Palestinian state in his upcoming UNGA address. And in sports, India storms into Asia Cup final unbeaten, defending champions to face the winner of Thursday's clash between Bangladesh and Pakistan. Good afternoon to all the viewers joining us at this afternoon broadcast. To begin with the latest, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the third edition of Uttar Pradesh International Trade Show 2025 in Greater Noida today. In his address, Prime Minister Modi welcomed over 2,200 exhibitors at the show and expressed happiness over their participation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, self-reliance is an important aspect in this changing world, and a country like India should not be dependent on anybody.
दूसरों पर निर्भर होने से ज्यादा व्यवस्था कोई और हो ही नहीं सकती। बदलती हुई दुनिया में जो देश जितना ज्यादा दूसरों पर निर्भर रहेगा, उसकी ग्रोथ उतनी ही कॉम्प्रोमाइज रहने वाली है। और इसलिए भारत जैसे देश को किसी पर निर्भर रहना अब मंजूर नहीं है। इसलिए भारत को आत्मनिर्भर बनाना ही होगा। हर वो प्रोडक्ट जो हम भारत में बना सकते हैं, वो हमें भारत में ही बनाना है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi further highlighted that the world is recognizing India's fintech system, which is driving inclusive development through its platform for all and progress for all approach.
आज विश्व में हमारे फिनटेक सेक्टर की बहुत चर्चा है। इस फिनटेक सेक्टर की सबसे खास बात है कि इसने समावेशी विकास को, इंक्लूसिव डेवलपमेंट को बहुत ताकत दी है, बढ़ावा दिया है। भारत ने ऐसे ओपन प्लेटफॉर्म बनाए जो सबको साथ लेकर चलते हैं। यूपीआई, आधार, डिजी लॉकर, ओएनडीसी, ये हर किसी को मौका दे रहे हैं। यानी प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर ऑल, प्रोग्रेस फॉर ऑल।
Scheduled from the 25th of September till the 29th, the mega event will present UP's industrial, agricultural, cultural and innovation strengths on a global stage. Russia is the partner country this year, with 30 companies showcasing their products and services. More than just a platform for trade and investment, UPITS aims at creating a future-ready ecosystem for youth, entrepreneurs and international delegates, while celebrating the state's diverse identity through the confluence of craft, culture and cuisine. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also interacted with a group of women entrepreneurs from Uttar Pradesh who set up their exhibitions at the expo. Take a listen.
How was the experience like?
Yeah, the experience was amazing.
his aura was so amazing that we're still memorized by it. And I'm from Saharanpur, Shelly Sahani. I do Saharanpur ki wood ke saath I mix glass and make products for the export market. And I've got international markets where I can sell my products. Employing almost 45 families are involved with our business, and 9 ladies are involved, and they have a good earning out of it, and it keeps me creative and keeps me happy.
What do you think is the role of these kind of expos as far as pushing our products across the world are concerned?
Yeah. See, UP was always a downtrodden state. But since Yogi Naji has come in as the CM, he has improved the atmosphere to work.
And DD India correspondent Akshay Dongre now joins us. Good afternoon, Akshay. Now, once again, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has pushed for vocal for local and make in India. He pushed for self-reliance India in his special address to the nation also recently. Tell us how the stakeholders are responding to this make in India push by the government.
Well, quite enthusiastically, Deepika, given the fact that the number of exhibitors has risen multifold as far as, vis-a-vis to the last year's expo is concerned. So over 2,200 exhibitors are here, participation of about 80 countries, visitors from different parts of the country and different parts of the world. About 500,000 visitors are expected to come to the expo in the next 5 days, including today. So this is going to be a mega event. We were there, our teams were present there, and you could buy everything there, from drones to papads or to small handicraft items to decorative items. Everybody that had something to sell, that had that is manufacturing something, found a place there as far as the stalls are concerned, and their exhibitions that they had set up were exhibiting all the kind of major strides that have been made by the entrepreneurs as far as the manufacturing sector is concerned. And the interaction that you showed with the women entrepreneurs was also a highlight, given the fact that Prime Minister Narendra Modi specifically made it a point to go to a group of women entrepreneurs at the exhibition and interact with them, try to understand what kind of struggles women go through as far as their entrepreneurship is concerned, what are their needs, what kind of support from the government is required, everything from top to bottom. Prime Minister interacted with them, and that also gave a major boost to these entrepreneurs who have set up their stalls, trying to make Uttar Pradesh a 1 trillion economy and make India one of the largest economy in the world. That has been given a goal by Prime Minister himself by 2047. So in line with that, the exhibition is grand of scale, and not only at scale of the sprawling area where it has been set up, but the kind of participation that we are seeing as well.
Also tell us about Russia, who's the partner country this time. What more are we tracking on the collaboration India has done with Russia this time?
Well, about 30 Russian companies have also set up their exhibitions and are participating in this expo. That is a huge boost as far as Indo-Russian trade ties are concerned. There was a time when India was a major importer of Russian goods, from defense to other tech, and from books to other basic necessities as well. But now times have changed. Now, we are on an equal standing with a country, with the world's largest country in size and with the world's largest country in population, both coming together. Clearly, wonders are going to take place as far as trade between the two nations are concerned. And that perhaps is the logic, the reasoning behind Russia being the partner country this year as well. And there was quite a palpable excitement as far as the exhibition is concerned, especially in the Russian side, given the fact that the other side is rather quite keen on fostering trade ties with the Indian companies and expand their market base as well.
All right, thank you so much, Akshay, for joining us and bringing us the latest. Moving on. India, the world's largest democracy and a land rooted in truth, has witnessed a remarkable cultural renaissance over the past decade. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the nation has experienced a true revival of its heritage, with ancient traditions and sacred ties restored to new glory. Here's more.
India, cradle of world's oldest civilization and the mother of democracy, the land of truth, non-violence and peace, a nation that has nurtured countless faiths and traditions in harmony. A new chapter in this cultural renaissance began in 2014, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi took charge at the centre. Since then, the world has witnessed the rise of a new India. After centuries of colonial rule ended in 1947, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called for shedding the mindset of slavery from the Red Fort. The journey of reclaiming India's civilizational pride began in 2014. It marked a turning point in independent India's history when cultural nationalism found renewed expression. This was the era when the centuries-old dream of a grand Ram temple at Ayodhya came true. Countless pilgrim centers across the country were revived with dignity and splendor. Guided by the vision of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas, the goal has been to leave behind the scars of slavery and build a confident new India. Like Queen Ahilyabai Holkar once restored temples across India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expanded and revitalized numerous pilgrim sites. The reconstruction of Kedarnath Dham and the restoration of Adi Shankaracharya Samadhi stand as shining examples. The Kashi Vishwanath corridor in Varanasi has transformed the temple precincts, linking the shrine with Ganga after centuries. Similarly, the Mahakal Lok corridor in Ujjain has given an awe-inspiring form to the old age vision of Satyam Shivam Sundaram. In the past 11 years, cultural heritage sites across the country have been redeveloped. The Kamakhya temple in Assam now offers improved infrastructure and facilities for pilgrims. The historic Somnath temple has seen new development, including the Parvati temple. The Char Dham project has upgraded highways connecting Yamunotri, Gangotri, Kedarnath and Badrinath, making pilgrimages safer and smoother while also boosting tourism. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Kutch to Kamakhya, sacred sites have been revived and put on global pilgrimage map. The Buddhist circuit too has been developed. In Shravasti, Kushinagar and Kapilvastu in Uttar Pradesh, Bodh Gaya in Bihar and sites in Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. Sikh heritage also found new strength with the Gobind Ghat Hemkund Sahib Ji ropeway project in Uttarakhand. The inauguration of the Kartarpur corridor in 2019 fulfilled a long-cherished wish of Sikh pilgrims to visit Gurudwara Darbar Sahib. The government also began observing Veer Bal Divas every year on 26th of December to honor the sacrifice of Guru Gobind Singh Ji's sons. India has also set global benchmarks in preserving culture and literature. In 2024, 3 classics, Ramcharitramanas, Panchtantra and Sahridalok, were inscribed in UNESCO's Memory of the World Asia-Pacific Register. The Bhagavad Gita and Bharat Natya Shastra too were added to UNESCO's Global Register. India's civilizational pride was also revived with the inauguration of New Nalanda University campus in Bihar. The past 11 years have marked a cultural renaissance in India. With just a decade, the nation has taken giant leaps in varied sectors and presents its cultural and civilizational essence to the world.
Moving on. President Draupadi Murmu has embarked on a spiritual journey to Vrindavan in the North Indian state of Uttar Pradesh on Thursday, travelling by a special train from Delhi's Safdarjung railway station for a day-long visit focused on devotion and cultural heritage. During her visit, the President performed darshan and puja at several revered sites, including the Sri Banke Bihari temple. She also visited Nidhivan and the Kubja Krishna Mandir. The Kubja Krishna Mandir is unique as it is one of the few temples where Krishna is worshipped with Kubja, a hunchbacked milkmaid who healed and provided him with selfless love. President Murmu also visited Sudama Kuti in Vrindavan. She performed puja and worshipped along with cow charity and tree plantation. Further, President Draupadi Murmu will proceed to Mathura, where she will perform darshan and puja at Sri Krishna Janmsthan, which is a key pilgrimage site associated with Lord Krishna's birthplace. We're heading for a short break, but still to come on the other side. Dr. S. Jaishankar hosted FIPIC Foreign Ministers meeting in New York, noted the 12-point action plan announced by Prime Minister Modi. After the break, we'll get you a special report on World Maritime Day. And after the short break, we'll also get you the latest on how life is getting back on track in Taiwan, Hong Kong and China post-Typhoon Ragasa.
geopolitics and trade deals, economic challenges amid development, hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium, we'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back after that short break. You're watching DD India News Hour. Well, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar on Wednesday hosted the Forum for India-Pacific Islands Cooperation Foreign Ministers meeting in New York. He noted that the 12-point action plan announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi at FIPIC 3 summit is progressing well. The plan was announced in a range of areas including healthcare, renewable energy and cybersecurity, as Prime Minister had announced that India is ready to share its capabilities with the region without any hesitation. During the event, Dr. S. Jaishankar acknowledged that India and the Pacific Island countries are development partners and their agenda is people-centric and focused on health, technology, capacity building and training. On the sidelines of FIPIC FMM, which is Foreign Ministers meeting, Jaishankar met Prime Minister of Tonga, Palau, Minister of State and Solomon Islands, Tuvalu, Marshall Islands, Cyprus and Mexico's counterparts. The leaders agreed to build on recent exchanges and create a fresh roadmap for strengthening bilateral ties. Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas will address the UNGA virtually on Thursday amid US opposition that barred his travel to New York. Now, this follows France's summit where Western nations recognized Palestine, a move rejected by US President Donald Trump. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who is due to address the UNGA later, has also vowed to condemn these recognitions in his Friday UN speech, reiterating rejection of a Palestinian state and announcing a Trump meeting. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has presented a 21-point peace plan incorporating French elements like Hamas disarmament and an international force.
I am now leaving with my wife for the UN General Assembly in Washington. At the UN General Assembly, I will speak our truth, the citizens of Israel, the truth of the IDF soldiers of our country. I will condemn those leaders instead of denouncing the murders, rapists and child burners, want to give them a state in the heart of the land of Israel. This will not happen. In Washington, I will meet for the 4th time, more than any other leader, with President Trump and discuss with him the great opportunities that our victories have brought and also our need to complete the goals of the war. That means to return all our hostages, to defeat Hamas and to expand the circle of peace that is open to us following the historic victory on Iran and other victories that we have achieved.
Meanwhile, Palestinian families continued their long journey southwards on Thursday as Israeli operations intensified. People continue to move southwards through vehicles and foot, while some families sit alongside the coastal roads. Many have left Gaza City, however, others hesitate due to hunger, insecurity and constant dangers. Israel's military campaign continues its operation despite calls to stop, urging the population to move south. Reaffirming their resolve to solve the growing tension between the two conflicting nations, which are Russia and Ukraine, Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov met the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio on the sidelines of the UNGA. Top Russian diplomat Lavrov said that Kyiv and European countries were to blame for prolonging the conflict in Ukraine. He stressed the unacceptability of the schemes promoted by Kyiv and some European capitals aimed at prolonging the conflict. Rubio reiterated President Trump's call for the killing to stop and the need for Moscow to take meaningful steps towards a durable resolution of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Amid the growing tensions between Russia and Ukraine, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he was ready to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin anywhere except Moscow, while Russia responded by naming Istanbul as its preferred venue for potential talks. Zelensky made the statement during his visit to the United States. While Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told Russian media that Putin is open to a meeting with Zelensky, but cautioned that without thorough preparation, it would be essentially a PR stunt doomed to failure. Peskov also noted that Kyiv is not interested in Moscow's proposal to set up working groups to facilitate negotiations. Sri Lankan President Anura Kumara Dissanayake called on the world leaders to act together against conflict, poverty, corruption and drugs. Sri Lankan President made the appeal during his first address to the 80th UNGA in New York. The President voiced alarm over the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. He demanded an immediate ceasefire, free flow of aid and the release of hostages. President Dissanayake said poverty and inequality are global catastrophes that must be urgently addressed. He urged stronger action against drug traffickers and more rehabilitation centers. He also noted that Sri Lanka has already embarked on a fight against corruption. The President arrived in the United States on Tuesday to participate in the 80th session of UNGA. During his visit, he met with United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, and is also expected to hold bilateral meetings with the UN Secretary General and several other world leaders. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese promoted his government's world-first teen social media ban at an event in New York, warning the challenges posed by social media for children was constantly evolving. Governments and tech firms are closely watching Australia's efforts to become the first country to block the use of social media by those younger than 16, starting from December. Australia wants social media firms to use artificial intelligence and behavioral data to estimate the age of users and not conduct blanket age verification. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, in her speech, said she had been inspired by Australia's example. Australia's ban passed into law in November 2024 and aims to delay teens' ability to set up social media accounts from the current age of 13 until the age of 16. Albanese's centre-left government proposed the law, citing research showing harms to mental health from the overuse of social media among young teens, including misinformation, bullying and harmful depictions of body images. Thailand's foreign minister calls for de-escalating tensions with Cambodia, seeking withdrawal of troops and weapons from border areas. Interacting with media on the first day of office, Foreign Minister Sihasak highlighted that his first priority is to secure peace between the two neighbouring Southeast Asian nations, calling for joint action. The two nations had witnessed tensions regarding border areas in July this year. Life is getting back on track in the Typhoon Ragasa hit areas in Taiwan, Hong Kong and China. The superstorm has crippled infrastructure and created havoc since its landfall. Hong Kong is busy cleaning up after Typhoon Ragasa battered the city, causing widespread damage to restaurant businesses and injuring over 100 people. While few of the schools and transportation services have partially opened, the flight operations resumed from Thursday. The city's observatory has maintained Typhoon Signal 3. Meanwhile, Taiwan was majorly hit with over 14 deaths and 33 missing people. A barrier lake overflowed due to heavy downpour in the county, causing damage as floodwaters trapped people within the buildings, resulting in deaths, and Guangfu's train station halted services while the main highway was washed away in floodwaters. Volunteers have been working with the locals in an effort to clean up the areas. And in southern China, thousands of people were busy clearing up fallen trees, fences, cable lines and debris after Typhoon Ragasa battered the region with heavy downpour and winds of up to 145 kilometers per hour. World leaders have unveiled new targets to cut planet heating pollution at the United Nations in a bid to spur fresh impetus to the beleaguered climate effort. A total of 120 countries and the European Union announced new goals to reduce greenhouse gas emissions at the Climate Leaders Summit in New York on Wednesday. The pledges most notably include one from China, the world's leading emitter, which is set to cut emissions by 7 to 10% from its peak level by 2035. The World Maritime Day is being observed all across the world. The theme this year aims to highlight everyone's duty of safeguarding marine life while seizing opportunities for innovation. Here's more.
On the 25th of September, the world observes World Maritime Day. The theme for this year is Our Ocean, Our Obligation, Our Opportunity. Imagine the vast ocean, our planet's beating heart, pumping oxygen to half of the world, feeding billions and powering over 80% of global trade through ships. However, it is under threat from pollution and climate chaos. The observance of the World Maritime Day urges us all to protect this lifeline. This year's theme spotlights everyone's duty to safeguard marine life while seizing opportunities for innovation. Union Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways Sarbananda Sonowal posted a video writing that our oceans are a source of prosperity and vast possibilities. I salute our dedicated seafarers who tirelessly power Bharat's growth and reaffirm our commitment to a sustainable blue economy and a secure, thriving future for all. As UN Chief, Antonio Guterres reminds us that the ocean is far more than a highway for commerce. It is a life force that feeds billions, regulates our climate, and sustains biodiversity. Launched with IMO Secretary General Arsenio Dominguez and some school children in London, it is a call to action tied to UN goals for clean seas and climate resilience. Bureau Report, DD India.
And now let's take a look at other stories making news around the world in brief. On the outskirts of Australia's Cairns, a biotech startup called RainStick is blending traditional indigenous knowledge with modern science to boost plant and fungi growth. In this experiment, they use electricity similar to lightning to supercharge seeds before they reach to the farmers. Their goal is to give crops a stronger start without changing on-farm practices. In Turkey's Isparta, one of Anatolia's oldest crafts, leather burning art continues to thrive. The 4,000-year-old tradition, once seen in the Ottoman eras, uses everything from shark skin to crocodile leather, creating designs that reflect Turkey's rich cultural history. A highly significant paleontological discovery in the province of Colón is rewriting what was known about the formation time of the Stamos of Panama, a 6 million year old fossil of a species of fish which has been named Itilis, named Bethia perglacius, has been discovered by the Faculty of Sciences of the University of Panama. We're heading for a short break, but still to come on the other side. Up next, a special discussion reflecting on 11 years of Make in India campaign. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to attend World Food India today. The event is a flagship international event positioning India as a global food hub. And Union Minister Amit Shah leads sapling plantation drive in Delhi as the country celebrates Swachhata Hi Seva campaign.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Hello. Johar. It fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout ho gaya.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
Welcome back after that short break. Let's quickly recap top headlines of the hour. From chip to ship, Prime Minister Modi pushes Make in India and Vocal for Local resolve at UP International Trade Show, asserts India set to be developed by 2047 despite all odds. India successfully test fires intermediate-range Agni Prime missile from mobile railway platform, joins select nations with canisterized launch capabilities from rail network. Ahead of the US visit, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he would condemn recent recognitions of a Palestinian state in his upcoming UNGA address. And in sports, India storms into Asia Cup final unbeaten, defending champions to face the winner of Thursday's clash between Bangladesh and Pakistan. In 2014, a bold vision was set into motion, Make in India, a slogan that evolved into one of the most transformative economic movements in the country's history. 11 years later, it has become a blueprint for industrial resurgence, national pride and a global ambition. A movement that is not just building factories but building futures. Our next report gets you more details. Take a look.
The Make in India initiative launched in 2014 has been a cornerstone of India's push towards Atmanirbharta or self-reliance. What started as a slogan became a full-spectrum strategy that's reshaped India's industrial landscape. While industry played its part, the government's massive capex has given industry the confidence to also invest big in India.
The bullet train is coming up between Mumbai and Ahmedabad, the precursor to many more bullet trains and high-speed rails coming up in the country. DFC is operational, both the northern one and the western one, precursor to hopefully more DFCs coming up in other regions. It's a race to make India a $32 trillion economy.
India attracted $667.4 billion in FDI from 2014 to 2024, a 119% increase over the previous decade. Manufacturing FDI alone surged 69%, reaching $165.1 billion, energizing sectors like electronics, automotive and textiles.
आज आपने कई बार टेलीकॉम टावर के ऊपर बड़े-बड़े रेडियो, व्हाइट कलर के जो बड़े से रेडियो नहीं होते लंबे से इस तरह से, बहुत ही कॉम्प्लेक्स मशीन है. 40 कंट्रीज को एक्सपोर्ट हो रहा है. यूरोप जैसे, अमेरिका जैसे समृद्ध देशों को भारत में बने हुए टेलीकॉम इक्विपमेंट आज एक्सपोर्ट हो रहे हैं.
Make in India isn't just about factories. It's about empowering youth, reviving neglected regions and reclaiming India's industrial legacy. From chips to ships, the Prime Minister's vision is laying the groundwork for a future where India plays a leading role in global supply chains. It is Make in India, make for the world.
Countries like Australia and India that have complementary interests, because Australia is not going to be a massive producer of batteries. However, we have aspirations to be a massive producer of lithium carbonate and lithium hydroxide, which can come to India. And if India develops its cathode active material processing, then India can value add and we can sort of meet in the middle on that supply chain and go very quickly to global scale.
Launched in 2020, PLI schemes spurred 1.3 lakh crore rupees in investment, 10.9 lakh crore rupees in output, and over 8.5 lakh jobs. Semicon India is building a full-stack chip ecosystem. PM Modi's Swadeshi push and GST reforms boosted demand for Indian goods, tying self-reliance to national pride. Make in India didn't just make goods, it made good India's potential. Bureau Report, DD India.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi reminiscent the journey of Make in India campaign that started 11 years ago. Taking to social media platform X, he said, and I quote him here, 11 years ago on this day, the Make in India initiative was launched with a vision to add momentum to India's growth and tap into our nation's entrepreneurial potential. It is gladdening to see how hashtag 11 years of Make in India has contributed to furthering economic strength and laying the foundation for Atmanirbharta. It has encouraged innovation and job creation across sectors. Unquote. And to get you more on this, I am joined by the guest of the day, Mr. Shubhamoy Bhattacharjee, who's a senior economic journalist. Good afternoon, Mr. Bhattacharjee. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi once again pushed for Make in India at the International Trade Show of UP as well. Earlier as well, from E-Vitara in Gujarat to Prime Minister's Mitra Park in Bhopal, which are the two of the most recent pushes where Prime Minister has included the industry leaders in this initiative. The vision is clear: to become a developed nation by the year 2047. Now, how crucial can can the role of business leaders become for India's vision of becoming completely self-reliant in this effort and push?
Very significant, considering that we are talking of a very short time length. This is already 2025, we are talking of 2047, and it's not that is as if we reach somewhere on 2047, but it's a journey that starts and sort of keeps on adding momentum. Now, to do all of that, one of the things that the private sector needs to do is to push ahead with investment. And investment both in research and development as well as investment in expanding capacity. Now, both of those work coterminously. We have to see evidence of that. The Prime Minister's push is very clear. The path that has been laid out by the government is also very clear. It's up to the private sector now to show that they have the capacity to be able to be part of this journey.
And also, we are celebrating 11 years of Make in India. Many initiatives have been announced by the government for ensuring ease of doing business for various stakeholders. Also, we talked about the next gen GST reform when you joined us for that discussion as well. And from next gen GST to simplified compliance, a lot of initiatives have been undertaken by the government. How do you reflect at the progress made so far?
Essentially, what has been done is to create the platform. So GST, as you were talking about, GST itself, when it was set up in 2017, was a very seminal change because it brought all the indirect taxes together. The change that has been done this year in September has essentially sort of made it a very smart tax of essentially just two rates, 5 and 18%. Along with that, we have to look at what has been done in the banking sector. We have to look at what has been done in investment by the government, in public sector, in public issues like public infrastructure, like roads, airports, and so many other sectors. We also have to look at the changes that have been done in the financial architecture. So these have all laid the foundation for a very good investment push. In fact, we've been getting the benefit of these, but it's now, again, as I said, up to the investors to take advantage of what has been possible and to show results. Yeah.
And also, when we talk about the events like UP International Trade Show, they not only serve as a ground for international collaboration, inviting more investments in India, but also ensures more employment opportunities for Indians in the country itself. How do you assess the multifaceted benefits such events provide to the common people?
And what happens is that we have been having investments in very specific, states. While those are very, very heartening and very laudable, we need to expand the space for investments to other sectors. It can't just be that only very few states in India would be pushing the investment, while there are several other states which need and have the capacity and have the potential to improve, but have not yet moved ahead. So one of the states where there's a lot of promise that's coming up is definitely UP. As you would have seen, UP has not only increased the pace of its growth of the state domestic product, it is also very smartly leading in many other sectors. For instance, in integrating retail into the value chain. Now, those are the sort of things that we need to really push ahead and to keep our sight in stick to ensure that there is a substantial sort of a corresponding change that comes from private sector investment, private sector companies planning to come into investment in the state. Yeah.
And very quickly, what more can be done to invite such stakeholders who can ensure India's push to Make in India campaign, ensuring that we become a developed nation by the year 2047?
Very focused outlook on investment. State governments like UP have to ensure that every agency of the government is focused on helping investors develop. We are saying that we will be able to create a growth rate which is better than China. So we have to look at what the Chinese state governments have done in terms of ensuring that every possible handicap that a company can face is cleared immediately, in terms of land, in terms of labor, in terms of power supply, in terms of transportation linkages, these have to not just be on paper, but have to be shown to be implemented on the ground. And that's very important.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Shubhamoy Bhattacharjee, for joining us and bringing us a rounded perspective on the Make in India campaign. Moving on. Now, India has carried out the successful launch of intermediate range Agni Prime missile from a rail-based mobile launcher system. This next generation missile is designed to cover a range of up to 2,000 kilometers and is equipped with various advanced features. The first of its kind launch, carried out from specially designed rail-based mobile launcher, has the capability to move on rail network without any preconditions that allows users to have a cross-country mobility and launch within a short reaction time with reduced visibility. Defence Minister congratulated DRDO Strategic Forces Command and the Armed Forces on the successful test. He said, and I quote him here, "This successful flight test has put India in the group of select nations having capabilities that have developed canisterized launch systems from on-the-move rail network." Unquote. Now, notably, the road mobile Agni P has already been inducted into the services after a series of successful flight trials. Aimed at showcasing India's strengths in the food processing sector, food sustainability and the production of nutritious and organic food, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will participate in World Food India at around 6:15 p.m. IST at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. The 4-day event will have multiple thematic sessions covering a wide range of topics including India as a global food processing hub, sustainability and net zero in food processing frontiers in food processing, India's pet food industry, processed foods for nutrition and health, plant-based foods, nutraceuticals, specialty foods, among others. It will feature 14 pavilions, each dedicated to specific themes, and will attract around 100,000 visitors. It will also showcase 21 exhibiting countries along with 150 international participants. At World Food India, credit-linked support of over 770 crore rupees will be provided to around 26,000 beneficiaries for micro projects in food processing sectors worth over 2,510 crore rupees under Pradhan Mantri Formalization of Micro Food Processing Enterprises Scheme. Moving on. The 9th edition of Swachhata Hi Seva is currently underway under the aegis of Swachh Bharat Mission. The 15-day campaign continues to inspire mass participation across India. Union Home Minister Amit Shah, along with BJP National President JP Nadda, led a sapling plantation drive in Delhi as part of Swachhata Hi Seva campaign. The initiative, joined by Delhi Environment Minister Manjinder Singh Sirsa, underscored the government's commitment to sustainability and green development. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh took part in Swachhotsav at Army headquarters, emphasizing collective responsibility for cleanliness. And Sanjay Jaju, the Secretary of Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, also took part in Ek Din Ek Ghanta Ek Saath cleanliness drive on Thursday at Shastri Bhavan in New Delhi. As part of the ongoing Swachhata Hi Seva campaign, Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan participated in Shramdaan activity in Atmaram Sanatan Dharm College of Delhi University. The minister also planted a sapling at the college campus. He later interacted with students and reiterated the call for Swachhata, Swadeshi and Vocal for Local. In Chandigarh, Union Minister Manohar Lal Khattar joined Ek Din Ek Ghanta Ek Saath initiative. And in New Delhi's Kalindi Kunj Ghat, Union Minister C.R. Patil led Swachhata Hi Seva campaign, heading the cleanliness drive along the Yamuna River and its banks. The minister was joined by Minister of State for Jal Shakti, V. Somanna and other dignitaries. Indian Environment Minister Bhupendra Yadav planted a sapling at a Solabhati Wildlife Sanctuary in New Delhi. The plantation program was held reinforcing government's commitment to environmental conservation under the ongoing national campaign Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam. India is witnessing a new wave of civic action as Swachhata Hi Seva sweeps across towns, cities and villages. The campaign marks a nationwide commitment to cleaner, safer and more dignified living for all. From massive Shramdaan drives to transforming neglected spaces, citizens are leading the real change. Let's take a look at the standout achievements of this year and the ones that have shaped the Swachh Bharat mission over the years. Well, Swachh Bharat, which is India's biggest people-led movement, where 12 crore toilets have been built in order to slash open defecation. Cleaner surroundings are also boosting health and upholding dignity. 58% legacy waste was cleared, transforming urban landscapes. Not only this, 7,646 acres reclaimed from garbage dumps. 8 lakhs neglected areas have been cleaned up in 2024. Now Swachhotsav celebrates the joy of collective cleaning. Swachh Bharat 2025, 1 hour, 1 nation, 1 Shramdaan mission. The sanitation workers are honoured for their dedication as well. Urban waste processing is now at 81%, which is up sharply since 2014. Ministries and communities are joining hands for a cleaner India. The mission is to steer India towards a sustainable future. And now let's take a look at other stories making news around the country in brief. Ministry of Panchayati Raj launched a series of digital reforms to strengthen Gram Panchayat. These reforms aim to make governance faster, more transparent and more inclusive. This shift also reflects the government's broader vision under Digital India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. The second Shanghai Cooperation Organization Young Author Conference is underway in New Delhi. The event is organized by the Ministry of Education and the National Book Trust of India with coordination from SEO Division of the Ministry of External Affairs. The conference highlights the transformation of creative landscapes through digitization. Central Board of Secondary Education has released the tentative board exam date sheet 2026 for class 10th and 12th. According to CBSE timetable of 2026, 10th board examinations will begin on the 17th of February, while the 12th board examinations will start from the 20th of February. Time to take a short break, but still to come on the other side. Up next, a special report on Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay's birth anniversary. Bangladesh to clash with Pakistan today at Asia Cup, winner to face India in Asia Cup final. And Shubman Gill to lead India squad for test against West Indies.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. Well, 25th of September marks the birth anniversary of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay, the guiding light of Indian political thought and the proponent of integral humanism. Senior BJP leaders paid floral tributes, remembering his vision of Antyodaya, the upliftment of the last person in society. Here's a report.
On the birth anniversary of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay, senior BJP leaders gathered today to pay homage to the visionary thinker who shaped the ideological foundations of the party. Born in 1916 in Mathura, Uttar Pradesh, Deen Dayal Upadhyay rose to become a prominent leader of the Bharatiya Jan Sangh, the precursor of the Bharatiya Janata Party. He gave India the philosophy of integral humanism, which emphasized cultural nationalism, economic self-reliance, and balance between individual and collective good. His concept of Antyodaya, serving the last person in the queue, continues to inspire welfare-driven policies of the government. Remembered as a nationalist, philosopher and organizer, Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay's life and ideals remain relevant even today in India's path of inclusive growth. Kriti Vadhera's report for DD India.
Welcome back and now let's take a look at the sporting action. To begin with cricket, defending champions India sealed their place in the Asia Cup final with a 41-run victory over Bangladesh in Dubai. Abhishek Sharma's explosive 75 and Kuldeep Yadav's 3 for 18 headlined the victory. India have remained unbeaten in the tournament so far with their last Super Fours match scheduled to take place on Friday. The winner of the clash between Pakistan and Bangladesh today will decide who faces India in the summit clash. DD India's Mukesh Shukla reports from Dubai. Take a look.
Defending champions India have marched into the Asia Cup final with a commanding 41-run victory over Bangladesh in Dubai. The star of the night was young opener Abhishek Sharma, who continued his sparkling form with back-to-back half-centuries. He came out all guns blazing, hammering 46 runs in the power play alone and went on to score a blistering 75 of just 37 balls, packed with 6 fours and 5 towering sixes. His dismissal triggered a wobble, with India losing 3 wickets for 17 in the space of 3 overs, but Hardik Pandya's steady 38 of 29 ensured India posted a competitive 168 on the board. Bangladesh in reply pinned their hopes on Saif Hassan. The opener fought hard with a valiant 69 of 51 balls, striking 5 sixes, but lacked support from the other end. Only Parvez Hossain Imon managed double figures as Indian bowlers tightened their grip. Kuldeep Yadav spun his web with figures of 3 for 18, while Jasprit Bumrah and Varun Chakravarti picked up 2 wickets apiece. Bangladesh were bowled out for 127 in the final over, handing India their place in the title clash.
With India sealing their final spot, all eye will now be on Pakistan and Bangladesh as they battle it out in what is virtually a semi-final. With camera person SP Dubey, this is Mukesh Shukla from DD India, Dubai.
And in Asia Cup today, Pakistan will face Bangladesh in high-stakes Super 4 game. Having beaten Sri Lanka, Pakistan are well placed for making it to the final, but to ensure they make it through, they need to beat them first. Now, Sahibzada Farhan has been their best batter, while Fakhar Zaman has made handy contributions, but it has been their bowling that remains a standout. After losing to India, this has become a do-or-die encounter for Bangladesh. Their batting has been the slowest side among the full members, scoring at under 8 an over. But their bowling has been excellent, with incredible depth amongst their pace attack, leaving them in a good spot. And Mukesh Shukla joins us for more straight from Dubai. Good afternoon, Mukesh from India. Looking at today's virtual semi-final, who do you think can make it up to the finals against India?
Deepika, this is a very important match for Pakistan as well as for Sri Lanka. But Sri Lanka already, they both in the losers 1-1 match. So they played against each other, and this is the do and die situation for both of them. But in my point of view, I think Pakistan's look much favorite for the final against India. So because they are already, in a touch in the last match they played against Sri Lanka, they are looking much confident in the previous match. So India already booked their place for the final. Today's match, like as a semi-final for the both teams. And if you see the combination, how Pakistan elaborate their inning, their batsmen and bowlers, they to look at the other ball hard, but they couldn't get too much wicket in the 10th over. After they got the opportunity to get some wickets. So in the today match, if they the toss, because this match already happened in the Dubai, the toss is very important for who will win the toss. It is important because the dew factor, the outside of the field, it's very slow. So they have to look out all these aspects also, because if they elect whosoever won the toss, they must take a bowling for their side, because I already saw when India won the toss, they took the ball. When yesterday match, when Bangladesh won the toss, they elected to bowl. So toss is important for the first side. Those team who will win the toss, they have upper hand to take the call. And the other side, how they execute their inning, their batter, how they bat, and their bowler, how they take call. It's important because the captain Ali, he tries one pacer along with the spinner in the first 6 overs.
All right.
So how Pakistan will take call, it's important.
All right. Thank you so much, Mukesh, for joining us and bringing us the latest on the match today and ahead of the final against India. Moving on. The BCCI on Thursday announced a 15-member India squad for the upcoming 2-test home series against West Indies. Shubman Gill will continue as the captain after leading India to a 2-2 draw in England. Ravindra Jadeja will be his deputy in the absence of Rishabh Pant. Pant is recovering from a toe fracture he sustained in England series. Dhruv Jurel and Jagdishan are the two keeper batters in the squad. World number 1 bowler Jasprit Bumrah have been included, while Shreyas Iyer, on a 6-month break from red ball cricket, is not part of the current squad. So the squad includes India's squad for West Indies as Shubman Gill, who will be the captain, Yashasvi Jaiswal, KL Rahul, B. Sai Sudarshan, Devdutt Padikkal, Dhruv Jurel as the wicketkeeper, Ravindra Jadeja as the vice-captain, Washington Sundar, Jasprit Bumrah, Akshar Patel, Nitish Kumar Reddy, Mohammad Siraj, Prasidh Krishna, Kuldeep Yadav and N. Jagdishan as the wicketkeeper. This is the squad. And that's all for this edition of DD India News Hour. But do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download it right now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Deepika, and from all of us here in New Delhi, thank you so much for watching DD India News Hour.